Good evening, friends. Welcome back to the Castro Valley News live show. This is the, excuse me, good, before the roll call even starts. Good evening, Ashley. I hope you're doing well. Hope your new job is going fantastically. If you're not familiar with the show, what we do is every Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we that was probably the silliest thing I'm going to do all day, and I'm going to continue doing it so you can enjoy how silly that looks. Every Tuesday night, we come together, and Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we come together and we talk about things that are on our minds, things that are happening in our community. My name is Roberto. I am your host, for the lack of a better term, and we start the show with the roll call. So good evening again to Ashley. Good evening, Laura. Good evening to Christy. Hope you're doing well. Justice. So I'm framed better. I'm super conscious about how I'm framed in here. So yeah, let's give the roll call some time here to percolate. And good evening, Michael. Michael says, pray for all the people up here in Amador County and the Caldor fire. Yes. And prayers and thoughts to all of the firefighters that are there doing the good work, and also to some of the Alameda County firefighters and Alameda County sheriffs who are out there in the thick of it. Good evening, Bob. Bob says he is here. Good evening, Nathan. Good evening, Diane. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Ashley, thank you for the stars. Ashley loves the show. Ashley, we love you too. Good evening, Matella. I hope you're doing well. And again, if you're not familiar with the show, I should also mention this is our 70th show. Kapow. My mind is blown that we've done this 70 times. It's been a blast. It's been a learning experience on my part. Good evening, Jessica. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Just want to check and make sure the gain on this microphone is all the way up so that you guys can hear me as best as possible. We're asking, are you guys seeing the live video feed? Is the audio okay? Give me some feedback. Let me know if everything is functioning properly. Because last week there were some serious difficulties on my end. I had to restart everything, and I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing and seeing me properly. But we're in the roll call, so it seems like everything's going okay. It says my FPS is low, so you might see some jogging or some jittering in the video, but definitely, guys, let me know if your video and audio feed is okay. It looks like there's 40 people watching, so it seems like things are okay. So, okay, everybody is saying it sounds and looks perfect, so I'm going to trust you guys' judgment, and I'm going to appreciate you guys for the feedback. One more time, we're at the start of tonight's list. Nathan says, you know what happened to me today? I saw someone stealing, so I paid for... I'm assuming you paid for their items. That's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you for doing that, Nathan. I appreciate that. Especially in this day and time where there's could be any day, any time where people are in need. Maggie is, good evening to Maggie. Maggie is tagging other people. Maggie is tagging Marlon and Chris. Thank you, Maggie, for promoting the show and inviting your friends to watch. I appreciate that. So Nathan says, yes, he confirmed that. Unfortunately, Nathan, I see that happen a lot. And I again, tip my cap to you for your act of generosity. That's awesome. Thank you, Maggie, again for inviting someone else. Micaiah is listening, and I think I said this. I say this every time you tune in. I hope I said your name correctly. It's Micaiah. Is it Micaiah? And I said Micaiah. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. And Micaiah, I'm going to say it both ways, so technically I get it correct. Is the owner of Restore and Rework on San Carlos, an awesome antique kind of antique shop. Lots of fun stuff at Restore and Rework there on San Carlos Avenue. And thank you guys for supporting us. Good evening to David. David just sent us 50 stars. Thank you. Also, I'm not certain if I mentioned that Ashley also sent us 50 stars, which I greatly appreciate. If you're not familiar with the stars program, Makaya said I said it correctly the first time. Adam says, God bless you, bro. Bless you as well, Adam. Makaya just sent us 200 stars. Thank you so much. Ross is tagging Paulette. Good evening, Ross. Hope you're doing well. Maggie is also tagging Maria. Ashley is tagging Carol. Thank you guys for tagging your friends and inviting them to check out the show. Maggie is also tagging, say this one wrong, Sanath. I hope one of those two are correct. Maggie is also tagging Tim. Thank you, Maggie, for promoting the show. We'll get you on the payroll as soon as possible. It's awesome. Appreciate that. If you're not familiar, Maggie is also inviting Kathy. If you're not familiar with Facebook Stars, they just started this, I think, a few months ago. If you look in where the comment thread is, I believe it's at the bottom, there's an option where you can send us stars. Good evening, Dennis. Thank you for joining the show. Maggie is also inviting Tina, excuse me. So if you're not familiar with what the stars thing is, it allows you to during live streams, I believe live streams only, live videos only. Thank you, Maggie, for inviting Liz. During live streams and live videos, you can give us stars, which is a way, I think you have to pay a certain amount for the stars, but when you give them to us, Facebook ends up giving us a percentage, a monetary percentage of those stars. So it's a way for you to just kind of throw a couple bucks our way, and we definitely appreciate that because there have been a lot of people who have been really, really generous with the stars through a lot of weeks, and thank you guys so much for your generosity and your generosity in just watching the show and being patient with my stammering and blathering. We are, again, this is mind-blowing. We're, wait a minute, Maggie is inviting Liz, Jerome, I think I mentioned Tina as well. Dennis, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate. Every time we also mention that you can do donations through our website. If you like what we do, you can do stars. You can donate any amount, whatever you're comfortable with. Just like PBS requests, pledges, we do that as well. No pressure. We love you either way. Our moderator will post the link if you would like to make a pledge. Jan loves our news. Jan, we love you too. Thank you for listening and enjoying the show. Maggie is also tagging Christian, and I thank you again, Maggie, for inviting just about everyone you know. I appreciate that a lot. So if you're just tuning in the first few minutes of the show, we do something called the roll call, where we give shout outs to people who are watching and listening, which you're doing both because we've made that quantum leap into doing video with the show here a couple of weeks ago. It's been quite a few weeks ago that we went into video. Dustin, good evening. Hope you're doing well. It's been a long time. I hope you are happy and healthy and staying safe. Maggie also invited Olga. And Karen says, hello, Robert, and good evening to you, Karen, as well. I hope you are doing well. So, like I said, we're knee-deep. I can say that every week. We're knee-deep in the roll call. So if you're listening or watching and you'd like a shout-out, just post up a comment and I'll say hello to you. We'll give you a shout out on the page because I think everyone who listens to the show is special to me and deserves a shout out. Here's another name that I can mispronounce. Hopefully not. Navneet. I hope I said that correctly. First time here, new to Castro Valley. Welcome to our town. We love newcomers. It's exciting to hear that people are new to Castro Valley because there's so many amazing things to see and discover. in our town. Good evening to Janella. Thank you so much for all of your support, Janella. I appreciate all that you do in the community. Oh, I got their name correct. That's awesome. I'm actually pretty good with pronouncing names, but sometimes I'm not so good. But we are still doing the roll call, and I want to let you know that we will be definitely doing the midway giveaway, and that's going to be at 7:30, and we will be giving away a $20 gift card to Daily Dose Plant-Based Health. And during the midway giveaway, what we do is we have a trivia question. It's a Castro Valley related question, and the first person to text the correct answer gets that gift card. And this week I've got kind of a tough question. Actually, it's not a tough question, but it's a good question. Good evening, Cali Life. I hope you're doing well. Janella says she loves that Maggie always tags folks. That's how she found out about the show. So that's awesome. Thank you, Maggie. Like I said, we will get you on the payroll as soon as we can. Appreciate all that you do for the show. We're still on the roll call. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's staying safe. Like we were talking, like, I'm trying to find the name in the comments. Oh, Michael had mentioned the prayers to and the prayers and good vibes to all the firefighters. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of good evening, Mary Lou. Don't live in Castro Valley, but has great connections here. Welcome to the show, Mary Lou. Actually, since the topic of the fires came up, I definitely wanted to mention that it's important that we are. Maggie says, "Welcome." So Friday is payday is Friday. Yes, the check is in the mail. So when it comes to, since we're on the topic of fires, it's important that if you own a home, to definitely look into defensible space around your property, and which means that you're trimming back the vegetation that is probably dry, that is closest to your home. Good evening, Tanya. I'm going to completely derail that conversation. What I do every episode when Tanya chimes in for the roll call is I want to tip my cap to Tanya, who is Tanya is the wonderful person who's responsible for the community cupboard on Forest Avenue. If you're not familiar with it, it is an amazing beacon in our community. The concept is you can just walk up and you can donate items, or if you need food items, you can basically take what you want, but please don't, be mindful that there's other people in need, and there's other people who are probably going there to pick up items as well. But it's an amazing, amazing resource in our community. There are pantries, there's cupboards, there's refrigerator, freezer, sometimes there's succulents, sometimes there's coupons, sometimes there's jewelry, sometimes there's I said coupons, you name it, the community cupboard has it. They are, from what I understand, I think still in need of perishable items. So anything that may belong in a freezer or a refrigerator is definitely welcome. Drive down Forest Avenue, you cannot miss the blue community cupboard, and Tanya requests that any donations be made on her front porch so that she can sort items out, make sure things are okay. So definitely, if you are looking to clean out your pantry, if you're looking to clean out perishable items that you have in your refrigerator or freezer, things that are still good, please consider taking them to the community cupboard on Forest Avenue. Karen is asking, why did they cancel the Castro Valley Fall Festival? Is the same reason why the Light Parade and Cruise Night and I think the rodeo were canceled, and that is because concerns for the health and well-being of our community during the surge of the variants with COVID. So Karen, there's the answer to your question. I think there's another event in Castro Valley that was also canceled that has not made their announcement official, but we'll let you know as soon as that happens. There's another Tanya that said good evening, and I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. in the roll call. Cali Life says I have a lot of overgrown succulents that they would like to share. Bring them down there. Bring them to the community cupboard on Forest. Tanya, you're very welcome. You shouldn't be thanking me, Tanya. I thank you. What you have done with that community cupboard is amazing. And Janella says she is on the committee. The committee? Is that a word? Let's add let's add tongue rolls to words that already exist. That's silly. Sorry, guys. She is on the committee, and it was a very hard decision to make, but they wanted to be safe. That is in reference to the fall festival cancellation. Karen says, I understand, but I was looking forward to it. Our health is more important right now. I agree with you. I was looking forward to any event in Castro Valley. I was looking forward to cruise night. That was scheduled for this Saturday, but it's been canceled, and fall festival in the 2 days in September has been canceled. Stephen is in the house. Good evening, sir. So that leads to a reminder, something on the list that I wanted to let you guys know about. Are we done with the roll call, or is there anybody else out there who wants a shout out? Because I don't want to look. I don't want to overlook anyone. I apologize because sometimes I'm so conscious of keeping the flow of the show rolling that a lot of times my mind is thinking ahead of things to say so that there's not dead spots. So that's why I stammer. So I should probably be more mindful with cadence and timing. And that's what I'm going to do. So with that said, if there's anyone listening, I'd love to give you a shout out during our roll call. And it looks like, are we done with the roll call? Flora is asking what is going to happen to school year. Do they have any idea if doing homeschool or continue it on campus? There's positive cases. There have been quite a few positive cases in the district. Let me adjust this because I'm not fully in frame. From what I understand, I don't think there are plans for Castro Valley Unified to return to at-home education. That may change if there are additional cases, but from my understanding, I'm not hearing that the school year is going to be canceled and people will return to at-home education. So it looks like for the time being, unless that changes with the school district, I think the school year will continue as it is now. I think I'm just basing this on what I hear in the news, that there are a lot of districts that are having positive cases. I think some other districts in the Bay Area are experiencing more cases than Castro Valley Unified, and I don't want to seem like I'm criticizing them for their protocols or procedures. One of our stories, I think last week, indicated it had some information from the school district in regards to that fact that a lot of school districts are seeing cases, positive cases. And I think Castro Valley Unified is prepared for that. I think if there's a serious outbreak, I think we have a responsive and savvy school district, and I think they will probably adjust if that happens. But for the time being, it does not look like there will be homeschooling in Castro Valley Unified. But that may change, and if it does, we'll definitely let you know about it. Stephen says you're doing fine. Thank you, sir. Good evening to Denise. Good evening to Christian. Christian is mentioning that Castro Valley Rotary will be hosting a restaurant walk 9/21. They have been gifted this event from the Lions Club. That club has wound down its operations. You can reach out to Christian at chris@yourlenderchris.com for information or to book tickets for the restaurant walk 9/21. Janella says, no talk of Zoom schooling for Castro Valley or Hayward. There are only about 23 cases district-wide for Castro Valley. Denise says she got COVID tested today. No mention if that was positive or negative. So we're still kind of in the roll call, which I am fine with because I don't want to overlook anyone who might be listening and want a shout out. Dustin says you can't jump on the bandwagon when some cases pop up. There's about 20 cases out of like 8,000 staff and students. The protocols and procedures need to be followed. And from what I've seen and from what I've heard and some of the comments online, it sounds like Castro Valley Unified is following their protocols and their procedures. And while the numbers, the immediate numbers within the first month of the new school year seem frightening, I think we're seeing those at many school districts. I hate to say it, but I think it was kind of expected. I would hope that no other students would get infected or contracted or become infected. I have a friend in Alameda, and their school district is looking at actually numbers that are a little bit more intimidating than what's happening in Castro Valley Unified. However, as things unfold, and if more students are infected, our school district is really responsive, like I said, and definitely on top of the situation. And if that happens, I fully expect them to revisit the topic and have more public meetings and garner more comments from parents. So Christy says, what is the restaurant walk? Mitchell is asking, and from what I've seen, that is a restaurant walk that you can purchase tickets for that visits all of the restaurants. If you're looking for more information, you can reach out to Christian, and I'll give you his email address one more time, chris@yourlenderchris.com, if you were looking for more information in regards to the Castro Valley Restaurant Walk. So I'm going to cross the roll call off the list. I think we're done with that. If you're still listening and you want to shout out, definitely post something up, and I'll give you a shout out. I love doing that. Friendly reminder: this Saturday was what we were hoping to be our third cruise night event, and we canceled that, or postponed it. Canceled. We canceled it. I think last month, in the interest of public safety, and I know we're kind of beating a dead horse with this, but there were a lot of people who were saying cruise nights should be safe. People are just in their cars, but the sidewalks are packed, and to be honest with you, ensuring social distancing and the fact that people would be safe would not be possible. And our organizers, most of our organizers, there were people who were against the cancellation, and I want to let that be known and be honest. And Dave is chiming in, boo to canceling outdoor events. And I'm gonna bring up some of the points that David has brought up to me, that people psychologically need events, they need to see other people, they need to socialize, and I totally agree with that. That's so important, especially now, because a lot of us have been indoors for over a year, or up to a year, or a year and a half. But, and I'll give you the example of what the thought process was with cruise night is, and David says you will never be able to ensure that an event is 100% safe ever, and actually you can by canceling it. And I know people don't like that, and people don't want to hear that, but for us, at the end of the day, we didn't want one person to get the virus from someone else and pass it on to someone who may have an immune deficiency and get horribly sick and possibly die. So yes, we can ensure that an event is 100% safe by not doing it. And I'm not happy with it because I wanted Cruise Night to happen. Brandy is saying, why is it okay for Good Guys to have the car show in Pleasanton? That's way bigger. Because the Good Guys have decided to continue with their event. And I was not in any of their board meetings. I'm not privy to whatever their decision making was in regards to continuing Good Guys. But when it comes to a local event, we are here, and we chose to not have it. It was also, that decision was also, for the most part, agreed to by the Castro Valley CHP and the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. So to circle back to Brandy's question, that was at their discretion. Dustin is saying you need to enforce the wearing of masks during these bigger events. I agree. David is saying then might as well cancel the next year, 6 years in a row, because COVID isn't going away, only going to become a weaker virus. You're probably right, but we're not going to cancel the next 6 years because some of these events, it may be more comfortable for us to continue with the events, and let's just say we'll take each year at a time and see what happens. And we'll keep our head on a swivel and make those conscious decisions based on not revenue, but on the interest of our neighbors and their health. And if I'm being sassy, I apologize. But like I said, if one person who is immune compromised gets that virus and gets super sick and or possibly dies, I don't want that on my conscience. It's not worth it for me to sit back and look at the boulevard packed with people and the roadway packed with classic cars. I don't have, my ego doesn't dictate that. My ego is not involved in this event. I love that it's big. I love that people have a lot of fun. I am sincerely sorry that a lot of people were just mad. There were a lot of people who just ripped into us because we canceled. And I believe we were the first event to cancel this year, so we kind of set the precedent for some other events. But I want my neighbors to be safe. And it doesn't mean that I'm better than anybody else, or it doesn't mean that we're better than Good Guys. But that was just, the majority of our organizers, that was our decision, that we didn't want our neighbors to be safe. We wanted us to be safe as well. So with that said, Brandy says, wouldn't it be the immune compromised person's choice to attend or not? You could be right, but there could be a friend of that immune compromised person who did attend and could bring it back to that person. And I see your point. I understand what you're saying. There are our moderator just brought up that many may not even know that they are compromised, which is true. Brandy, I'm sorry that we disagree on this, but hopefully by next August we'll be ready to rock and roll and have another amazing event. And hopefully by that time, many more of our local events will be good to go, and we can all enjoy those outdoor events that we have for years. Give me one. Cali Life says he agrees. Sue says, we just canceled our 50th class reunion for Castro Valley High, just not worth the risk right now. Maggie says, well said, love of our neighbors. Janella says, same with the fall festival. We were worried cases would climb and all the hard work would have been for nothing if California closed down again. We didn't want to chance it. Totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And I know this whole situation is one of those third third rail topics. Bob says, no need to apologize. You did what you felt right. Case closed. Thank you, Bob. I'm definitely open to talk about this more. We talked about it during a couple other episodes, and I get people are mad. I understand that. I'm just as mad. I'm just as mad that we had to cancel another year, and there's really nothing. Christine says, if you can imagine that we had the fall festival or cruise night and car show and those events became a super spreader, could you imagine the guilt? I, for one, could not have dealt with that. You said it perfect, Christine. Perfect. I don't want the karma. I don't want it on my conscience. Even thinking that our event was the cause of one person getting sick to the point where they are deathly ill on a ventilator. I don't want that. I just don't want that. And like I said, there were other people on our committee. I did it again. How many T's are in committee? There's 2, right? I keep giving it 3. There were other people on our committee, I said it right for once, who wanted to continue with the event. And I respect that person's opinion. I respect their opinion. I respect Brandy's opinion. There were other people who came on the show and said that we should have continued with the cruise night, the event. I respect David's opinion. It's just not the opinion that I have, and I can, at the end of the day and at the end of the conversation, I can still respect those people and I can still appreciate them as members in my community. They're not my enemies. We just don't see the same issue the same way. And I think that's a dying art in our society because people just can't disagree and kind of walk away from it. It still has to be that and another thing and another thing. And Brandy, I'm sorry if I made it sound like you were mad. Brandy says, I'm not mad. I just feel like it's a pretty low risk. In my car with my family, the people gathered would most likely be their own group or pod. And I'm going to disagree with you because the first 2 cruise nights, there were so many people on the boulevard. It was like the fall festival and the car show times 2. There was no way to keep people away from each other, and it's not reasonable to ask anyone to police people because that's just going to create conflict and unhappiness. So Bob, our director of the show, is reminding me that it's mid-showtime. Good evening, Julie. Julie just tuned in, and Denise says, we all can agree to disagree. Thank you for that. Denise says, it was fabulous. Yes, the first 2 cruise nights were awesome. So we are right here. I'm late. I'm late for the Midway giveaway, but the show started on time, so if you're not familiar with the Midway giveaway, what we are doing is we are giving away a $20 gift card to Daily Dose Plant-Based Health, who are also the sponsors of the Midway giveaway. So let me let you know and give some gratitude, thanks, and love to Daily Dose Plant-Based Health. If you are looking for relief from insomnia, anxiety, pain, and inflammation, Daily Dose can help. Daily Dose Plant-Based Health carries only the finest CBD products, along with other health products such as protein powders, vitamins, superfoods, and more, even products for your pets. They are located in the Adobe Center on Castro Valley Boulevard, and they deliver free, this is really cool, to all Castro Valley addresses. You can order online at www.dailydose247.com, by phone at 510-881-8801, or you can stop by their store located at 3024 Castro Valley Boulevard, again in the Adobe Shopping Center. Thank you, and a warm hug to Dave. I'm giving Dave a hug because I know we disagree on the cancellation of the outdoor things. Dave, I still respect you. I still completely appreciate your opinion and your perspective. And also thank you for sponsoring the Midway giveaway. That's Daily Dose Plant-Based Health, delivering free to all Castro Valley addresses at www.dailydose247.com by phone 510-881-8801 or stop by their store 3024 Castro Valley Boulevard in the Adobe Shopping Center. So the Midway giveaway is a $20 gift card to Daily Dose. The first person to text in the correct answer to this question wins the card. I'll give you the number in 1 second, 510-331-9112. One more time, you can post the answers up in the thread all you want. They don't count. You have to text in. You have to be the first person to text in the correct answer here. 510-331-9112. Without further ado, what bygone Castro Village business was well known for its beloved sticker wall? And the sticker wall was basically rolls. It was a wall, sticker wall of stickers. It's self-explanatory, but yet I still gesticulated like a wet cat or whatever. I'm just being silly. Sorry, guys. So the question one more time. What bygone, long gone, but not forgotten, CB Village business was well known for its beloved sticker wall? First person to answer the question correctly at 510-331-9112 wins the $20 gift card to Daily Dose Plant-Based Health. I'm getting closer. I think we got it. Someone has a wrong answer. We got a winner. Oh, Tanya won again. Congratulations, Tanya. So Tanya, it looks like you're definitely going to be going to see David again. The correct answer that Tanya had is Jordan's Bookstore. Jordan's Bookstore had that amazing wall of stickers. Sorry about that. That's a very loud car on the freeway next to our office here. I'm sure you heard that. A lot of people have the correct answer, but we have a winner chicken dinner here, and that is Tanya. Congratulations, Tanya. Tanya wins the $20 gift card to Daily Dose Plant-Based Health. Denise is asking, where was it? Jordan's Books was in the Village, and Robin's Nest. What was Robin's Nest is where they are now. And I think that same storefront is going to be the new dumpling store. So there's a whole lot of information surrounding that right there. Give me 1 second, folks. Tanya says that wall was a very, very good part of my childhood. Micaiah says I love getting stickers from there. They had an amazing selection of scratch and sniff stickers that, yes, Dustin says next to the toy shop. Correct, and that is kind of next to where Eden Bicycles is now. And like I said, it's going to be, they're working, no, it's, yeah, it's, to where Robin's Nest was, and Robin's Nest closed, which is next to where the dumpling place is going to be. So I spoke out of turn incorrectly. It's where Robin's Nest was. Michael says Bella's locker room next Tuesday. Bella's closed a long time ago. And I know Michael knows about Bella's locker room because Michael's a big Raiders fan. I hope you're doing well, Michael. It's been a long time. All this stuff. I'm going to cross off the list. We're doing great on time, guys. That's the giveaway. Yeah, so you can tell from the comments that Jordan's Books was definitely well remembered. And the owner was Jim. And I think he's still in the Bay Area. I could be wrong. But Jim was an awesome guy. Super nice guy, super smart. Loved the community. Julie says, great place. I missed that place. It was great when doing scrapbooking. They had all kinds of stuff. Oh no, we're gonna get a Raiders back and forth comment. David says Bella's locker room closed back when the Raiders were good. Oh boy. Bob is at the sports desk. We're talking about sports more. A's lost 5-1, not looking good. I think this was this their second straight loss? I think I heard something about that. I think second straight loss. We've got some time here. I wanted to mention something cool that happened on the page just today. Someone found a husky on Denise asked, is the antique store still open? We still have one antique store on San Carlos, two, pardon me. We have Restore and Work, and we also have AJ's Attic. Those two antique stores are still alive and running on San Carlos, but there's no antique stores in the village. I don't know. I'm just looking at David's comment about the Raiders. That's awesome. See, we agree about I definitely agree with you on that. And the Raiders left again, so that's a completely different topic. So mentioning, David says the Villa family is awesome. Just had to throw some jabs out there from a 49er fan. So I'm not a 49er fan, and I'm not a Raiders fan. So, but thank you, David. I appreciate. Denise says Michelle Markovich. She's across from the village. So Denise, to answer your question, Michelle Markovich's antique shop is still in existence. You might want to call her and make an appointment because I think she's not at that location all the time. I think she's doing a lot of estate sales. And if you're not familiar with who Michelle Markovich is, she's awesome. She's such a great person. Known her for a lot of years, dating back to when I was with the forum. Michelle Markovich is an awesome person. If you're listening, Michelle, my best to you. I hope you're doing well. And she's got tons and tons of cool stuff. She also has a different location on San Carlos as well that is never open, but that's a different story. So earlier today, we had a post. We had some information sent in by someone on at the Adult Education Center, which is, I think it's on the other side of the school district, which is on Alma. And they found a husky dog. It's a beautiful husky dog. And if you're not familiar with huskies, they're escape artists. They love to get out. It's something, I think, wired in their brains, and a lot of them, they're super intelligent dogs, and they're sweet, but they are escape artists. And apparently this dog made it from Oakland to Castro Valley because there was a different post on a different page. And whenever we do posts for lost animals, there's a lot of people who comment and share and are really involved in trying to reunite these animals with their owners. And I'm an animal owner as well. I mean, there's this guy sleeping on the couch back here. I am an animal owner as well, so I feel the importance and passion to reunite lost pets with their owners. So this blew my mind because there were a lot of people who were saying, though, well, this husky, there's this post, this husky's missing out of Oakland. And I'm thinking, well, how in the world? I'm still thinking, how in the world did this husky get from Oakland to Castro Valley? Long story short, the dog ended up being picked up by animal control, and the owner is... Dave's cracking me up. Dave says, we love animals, that's why we don't eat them. That's why I don't eat them. But that's a different story. I'm not going to get on my soapbox in regards to vegetarianism. But yeah, it blows my mind that this husky made it all the way somehow from Oakland to Castro Valley. Could be someone maybe tried to take this dog, or I can't imagine this dog traveling all the way from Oakland to Castro Valley. But anyways, it was the dog that this person was looking for. and Alameda County Animal Control were called. It's at the shelter. The person's going to pick up the dog tomorrow. That is one of the things that I really, really love about our page, about our presence on social media. It is powerful in helping people reunite with their pets. It's powerful in solving crimes. Believe it or not, there have been times where there have been people stealing Amazon packages. Excuse me one moment. And we've shared footage or photos of these porch pirates stealing Amazon packages. And there was one time we shared a photo from someone stealing a package. We posted the photo, and there was an Alameda County Sheriff deputy who recognized this person. That person was arrested. So it's really amazing, the power of social media, the awesome things that can happen when you don't expect it. There were also, as our moderator commented, there were a couple of teenagers who went missing, who were runaways, that were kind of located by other people who saw their photos shared on our page. It's humbling. It's humbling and awesome to see these things happen. And it's not our doing, it's your doing. The people who are out there and care about our community and share things and comment and take the time to be emotionally invested in some of the things that are happening. And I think it's awesome. It's just testament to how amazing the fabric of our community is, in the fact, again, that so many people care to share, for the lack of a better term, and share to care things that are happening in our town. And to be honest with you, Castro Valley News would be nothing if it weren't for you guys, because you guys see things that we don't see, and you let us know about them, and that way we can get the information to you guys, and keep you informed and keep you educated. And I'm very thankful, and I'm humbled, because without you guys, I wouldn't have an income. I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And I really appreciate every last one of you. And it's awesome. There's, and I'm gonna speak just kind of an opinion here and an observation. There's a definite downside to social media. There's a lot of people who bully sometimes. There's a lot of people who are just nasty and like to troll. But I think there's it's not even equal. I think there's more people who genuinely want to help and care for others, and want to lift other people up instead of pull them down. There's a lot of people who like to push instead of pull. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Without you, we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't do the restaurant reviews. We wouldn't be doing anything. And thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So with that said, I will give you guys the phone number if you want to text something in, if you have a comment, complaint, confession, or a topic that you think we should be talking about. In regards to the reuniting of the dog, Tanya says she saw that. She's glad. She has 2 huskies. They are escape artists. They love to take off. They love to take off. Bob says dogs can move surprisingly kind distances, and I'm assuming you're thinking of long distances. I'm just going back to make sure I'm not missing any comments or questions here in the thread, or anybody who wants a shout out. We can definitely go back to the roll call anytime during the show if you want a shout out. I give you the number one more time because my list is kind of getting meager here. 510-331-9112 if you have a topic, comment, question, complaint, anything. We'd love to hear from you. And you don't have to call, you can text. I won't give your name if you're not interested in that happening. but I'll just mention, hey, there's a text from the 415 area code or whatever. I know people are very sensitive and very interested in whether their information is given on social media, and I totally respect that. And that was one of the topics that I was going to bring up, and since I just brought it up, I might as well expand on it. Someone messaged in with a number of questions in regard to how we do things here at Castro Valley News, and one of the questions specifically was, why do you post so many questions or requests for referrals anonymously? And basically, because of that, because of a respect for people's identity, we do that. If it's a question or a comment from someone saying, hey, this business did me wrong, XYZ, I don't like them, that's more for Yelp. And I know, with that said, we kind of do what Yelp does when people message in and say, hey, I'm looking for a place that does tires. I think that's very similar to what, number one, what Yelp does, and it's very similar to someone maybe complaining, but I think when it's all said and done, the more businesses that get name dropped from other residents, I think that's beneficial. I think it's kind of a celebration of our businesses, and which I always love to do because we have so many amazing businesses here. David is saying, let's talk about how good Top Thai and how nice the people there are. Ross says chicken Penang. I'm assuming that's a dish served at Top Thai. So yes, so the anonymous thing is kind of a discretionary thing, and just in advance, and there have been situations where a lot of people have wanted to message in, and they have like a gripe about a business that they feel did them wrong. That's really not our place to share that. Yeah, it's definitely not our place to share that. That's probably more for Yelp. And there's even a lot of times where people message in and say, hey, can we give a shout out to this business or that business? And sometimes we kind of shy away from that because then there's going to be more and more requests for that. Not that we don't want to be responsive to every request, but there are just simply things that don't end up on the page. So the anonymous thing, for the most part, is just out of respect, excuse me, for people who are messaging in. And of course, if it's someone who's reporting a crime or something, more times than not, people want to be anonymous. So that's a little bit of light shed on that topic. Hey guys, if you are listening and you have a question, comment, complaint, you can post it up in the thread and we'll talk about it, or you can text me 510-331-9112. I'm here. We've got a couple minutes left. We've got more than a few minutes left. Got like 8 or 9 minutes left. 7, 8 minutes. We've got a couple minutes. Let me get on this other topic. The same person who asked about the anonymous situation or policy asked how do you decide to pursue a story? How do you know if the information is legit and if the person is being honest? That's a tough one. I don't know if we have enough time for this. Whenever someone sends in some information, I typically will follow up with an organization that may be involved in this story. Like if somebody says, I heard there was a carjacking here, or there was a crime here, a crime there, I'll go ahead and follow up with the sheriff's department, see if there's information on that available from them so that we can get information to them Oh, I do have a question. I do have an answer for you, my friend. Ross is asking, what is the new business going in next to Villa Roma? That is on the boulevard. That is going to be Wicked Gardens. Gardens. They have succulents and plants. Wicked Gardens. They're, oh boy, we're going to let the cat out of the bag on this one. The building is painted orange and yellow. And oh boy, darn it, I just mentioned it and I just opened a can of worms for that business owner because they're probably not going to be, they're not approved colors. But to answer your question, Wicked Gardens is moving in next to, yes, Cali Life says research. I was just going to go on a complete rant about how it's done or whatever that is. It's research. It's research. Basically, it's research, double checking, making sure you have your sources in line. Um, so that's it. I know there's been some people who have been really critical about Castro Valley News, and I appreciate that. That's awesome. Everyone should be questioned, especially if you're a public figure, which unfortunately I am. And information stories are not shared on our page half baked. And I definitely had to stop and censor myself. But we don't put things out there that are half baked. We do research. We talk to people who are involved, and your trust is totally important to us, which is why we do that. And if you're not familiar with where I came from, I worked for the Castro Valley Forum for a bunch of years. I worked for the San Leandro Times for quite a few years before that. I learned how to do things the right way. Ethics are supremely important to me. So Cali Life just summed it up. It's research, because if you lose people's trust, you really have nothing. And we, Castro Valley News is in your community. We serve your community because this is where we live. This is where I live. So your trust is important to us. And I know I'm going to say this again, there have definitely been people who are critical, who do not like some of the things or experiences or interactions that have happened with us, and that's going to happen. But we do research. I do research. I don't just throw things out there half baked. Callie says, I love Castro Valley, the newscasters host the concerns of the general public to this town. Awesome. Thank you, Callie Life. I appreciate the compliment. So how this is an interesting one. How do you know if a person is being honest? And that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. And it's taken quite a few years to kind of hone how body language is when people are talking to you. You can tell a lot about how, whether you're getting eye contact. I did, just for my own edification, I did quite a bit of research into how that is, how police officers and even attorneys can determine if someone is being honest or dishonest. And there are some physical signs that you can look for in telling. That's not foolproof, because there have been times where people have definitely been dishonest, unfortunately. Cali Life says lie detector, and I wish I had the budget for one of those. Dennis says, keep supporting the cannery. Dennis, thank you for all your support. It seems like every time that we mention that we accept pledges, Dennis comes in and pledges. Thank you so much, Dennis. You're awesome. Cali Life says, Google FBI reading individuals. True. And Julie says, it's nice to hear positive news going on in Castro Valley. Michael says, you're a great person, Robert. You have done great things in Castro Valley. Love you, Robert. Michael, thank you so much. I appreciate your compliments. So there's definitely no fail-safe way of knowing if a person is being honest when it comes to the information that they're giving you. other than like Cali Life says, you can Google how to read people's body language, their expressions in their face. Even sometimes there's indicators with how hands are being moved and positioned, how people cross their legs. There's plethora of stuff that you can look into to determining whether people are being honest or not. And unfortunately, there's no foolproof way to do that. But you can definitely hone the talents and your knowledge as much as you can by doing research on the topic. And also, you can also tell if a person's being honest with a news tip by doing that research, by calling as many people that you can who may be familiar with the topic and see what their take is on it, see what they know about it. There's a lot of phone calls when it comes to doing stories. There's a lot of emails when it comes to doing stories. I love that part. I like digging. I like talking to people. I like finding things out. I love finding stories and things that other people don't know about. It's one of the wonderful privileges of this job, being able to meet people that I otherwise would have never met, like all you guys. If I weren't doing this, I would have not been able to meet you wonderful people and interact with you in this platform on this format. And I'm doing more stupid hand gesticulations again. Hey guys, we are over an hour, and I want to thank you guys for being amazing. I want to thank everyone who cared and shared all the information about the dog today. That was awesome. That was another wonderful thing that you guys did, getting that dog connected with its owner. You guys are awesome. I'm Roberto. We do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We talk about things that are on our minds, things that are happening in our community. So until next week, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Thank you.